2015, I became the head teacher of Papamoa Kindergarten. One of the things that I was really keen to drive was a bicultural teaching, learning and assessment framework. We were using Te Whāriki as our early childhood curriculum. We didn't have something that was specific to our place. We established an assessment Whānau group, but it really was the same group of white women who came to that hui. And then I realised that I had such a fantastic relationship with one of our Māori mums, Mariana Tapsell. And I went and asked her and I said, look, can I share what we're thinking of doing with you? The starting point for this piece of work was Guy Claxton's Building Learning Power Framework. It's quite wordy and some of those dispositional concepts are very abstract for children. So we needed to think about what would enable children to understand some very difficult concepts. The animals were gifted to us by another Whānau member, EILEEN WINIATA.
I chose the hammerhead because of its determination. I chose the tuna because of its playfulness. I chose the kia because they are cheeky, cunning and they make plans. And the tuatara because they share seabirds' nests.
Mariana Tapsell engaged her colleague, Winamu Te Kanawa, who is the Mātauranga facilitator for the Bay of Plenty Polytechnic. He came and he interpreted the framework from a Māori perspective. The hammerhead shark represents the resilience learning muscle. This is about children knowing about persevering, knowing about practicing, knowing that sometimes learning can be tricky.
Like a hammerhead shark, we don't give up.
We go for little family rides and we were out one day and there's a little hill we had to go up and my wife just reminded him what a hammerhead shark would do in this situation. And he was like, oh, never give up, so he got a decent run up and powered his way up this hill.
The hammerhead shark is definitely something that I'll use when I'm trying to encourage him to, you know, practice making his bed and those things that he might not usually want to do or find it difficult. For the tuatara, I thought that we could have the shape that they know and maybe incorporate some of these. I was thinking like the Te Whāriki and the weaving.
I like the idea that the scales from the tuatara look like interconnectedness and drawing on the strength of everybody. Reciprocity is represented by the tuatara. That has a beautiful backstory to it because Wiramu gave us this beautiful story about how on our local Kariwa island, tuatara share the seabirds' nests. So that was a beautiful metaphor for the children. They can collaborate and they can work together and they can include others and they can work as a team. Now you take over, she's tired. Tuatara, 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 tuatara.
So in your plan then, Lulu, let's write here, because I've written down your words. You want to make the earrings first, is that right? That would be pretty cool.
Our resourcefulness is represented by the tuna. They make this once-in-a-lifetime migration.
How do you think we'd make that? What could we use?
Wood.
Could use wood.
To enable them to make the migration, they have to use all the resources around them.
So where are we going to find them?
Carpentry.
The carpentry, so that's being resourceful. So which one's resourceful again? That's right, so do you want to cut that one out? We can stick that onto your plan.
The kia bird represents the reflectiveness learning muscle, and that's about children really thinking about where they're going in their learning, but also, as well as making the plan, thinking about what they'll need to do if the plan doesn't work and how they may need to change it and revisit it and replan.
They are in charge of what's happening. You can sit down and the children can say, look, I had to work really hard today, Mum, because my plan that I made, it didn't work, so I changed how I was working and came up with a new plan. The cardboard kept bending and your tassel string dropped. How did that make you feel?
We got a new plan.
We have looked at how the children have had to be like those animals in their learning and documented that, and they've become books on our bookshelf.
Dante gave me the courage to do it, and now I can do it. Like a hammerhead shark, you have spent time practicing not giving up and taking breaks.
All of us do it at home, like even my husband. You hear him saying things to the kids about, let's be a care, it didn't work out, but let's try it this other way, or you want to do this, let's see what we've got at home before we go out and buy resources. Can we use something that we've got at home to make it work?
I gave up and then I kept kept making it.
Did you? So what were you doing? What were you being like?
I'm an octopus and dinner hammy.
Oh, why were you being like an octopus?
I was afraid that I couldn't do it, so I just gave up.
And look what you've done. It's the journey that we've been on and the conversations that we've had that have been the most important. This is a framework for our people, for our community.